everyone, Lori Whitlock here. I've got an adorable brand new set of pull-up accordion fold cards that you'll find at the Silhouette Design Store and in my SVG shop at shop.loriwhitlock.com. These cards are really fun. I've seen people make some of these traditionally with a paper trimmer and scoring, and these are going to be a lot more fun and a lot easier to do with your cutting machine. Not to mention there's more fun shapes and cool things that you can do with them on the cutting machine that you can't do with a paper trimmer. So I'm going to open this one up here. There's an envelope included in the file, so you'll have a little envelope with a gusset in it. Holds a 6-inch card, and when you pull the card out, they look like this, and then they pull up to reveal 4 really cool accordion fold sides with a little sentiment on each side. Aren't those a lot of fun? So this one's a Happy Mother's Day version. Here's a Happy Birthday version. Little birthday cake on top. I've got a graduation one, 2019 grad, congrats. And it's got this cute little scroll here, like a diploma. And on the top, there's a little hat here. And in the file, I've given you, I think, 10 years worth of little labels. So up to 2029, that'll last quite a long time. And we've got a Happy Birthday. This is a basic traditional square one with all the strips, and you could make this by hand by scoring every 2 inches, but some of these other ones have really cool details on the side, like a scalloped edge or a wavy edge. This one's got the scalloped edge. This one has rounded corners, then all the cool flowers and different pieces for the top, the cake. And this one is a get well soon card. Look how fun that would be to hang it up and display this card. It's kind of a fun 3D presentation. This one's a Happy Father's Day. And you could certainly dress this up with different things. If you wanted to add more to it, you could add little tools to the different panels, or you could use different pattern papers to suit your dad. And then this one is a cool daisy thank you version. Look how cute that is. I love that one. That's bright and happy. And I'm going to show you how to put together another one over here. I'm going to set those to the side for a minute. And this one features little butterflies. And we've got a flower on the top. So I've cut out all the pieces. We've got the 2 little cross pieces that look like this, and there's holes in one of them and no holes in the other one. We've also got 3 big squares, and the middle one has some marks on it that show exactly where to place these strips. And then this is a covering panel for the top of that, so you don't see the little marks that we cut. And then these are 4 identical strips, and I've gone ahead and just attached the butterflies and the little sentiment. And then I will show you how to fold those and put them onto the card base. We're also going to need, for this version, 4 little brads. On most of the versions, we don't actually need to use the brads. Like you can see here, I didn't use a brad to connect the little strip to the flowers. But on this version, the little hole that we use to line up our cross piece here will actually show if we don't use a brad to fill that in. So I just wanted to show you this one so you'd understand how to cover that up. So let's proceed. The one additional thing you're going to need is a strip of ribbon, or in this case, we're going to go ahead and use some baker's twine so you can see how that works. But in all of these others, we've used a nice 1/2-inch piece of ribbon. So either way, just you'll need something in order to pull the card up whenever it's all completed. So let's go ahead and we'll accordion fold these little pieces. And basically what you're going to do is you've got your base piece, and then you've got your little piece that goes on top, and you're going to glue these on the bottom side. So you're going to fold that down and under on this piece here, and then accordion fold the rest of that. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. And we're going to glue under here. If you'll notice, there's some little cut marks on the 4 corners, on the 4 sides here. So there's 8 little cut marks where those are going to line right up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and glue this one down while we're here. You just wrap that right around and line it up. And the closer you line that up, the more accurate and precise your card will be when you're done. So you're just going to go ahead and do that 4 times. So just fold that under and then back and forth on itself, just like that. And we'll flip that over and glue this one as well. Okay, and we're on to our 3rd side. So we'll fold that under and back and forth. And we'll slip that on. And glue that right in place. And we're on our last side here. It actually helps me to just flip that over so I make sure I get everything going the right way. Just like that. You want the light colored butterfly on top. Well, depending on what you cut it out of, but that's what I have on top. This one doesn't want to line up. Okay, right in there. Whoops. And if you get a little over, it's okay because we're going to glue it on another piece of paper here in just a minute. So that is all glued on. And you've got your 4 butterflies just like that. So you now at this point you could go ahead and glue this down to the card base. So I'm going to flip all that over and put some adhesive on the back side. Go ahead and put some adhesive on those 4 tabs as well. Make sure they stick down good. And those butterflies are just gonna flop out in all directions, and that's okay. And there goes my brads. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and stick that down. At this point, you could go ahead and put your covering panel on because it's going to be easiest to get to that right now. It's going to be harder once we put everything together. So we'll go ahead and flip that over. Put some adhesive on that. Should be about 1/8 of an inch gap all the way around, and that will cover up all of those little marks. So these pieces are all attached and you can't see any of the raw edges, so that's great. Okay, at this point we need to put on our little cross bar, and we also need to install our little string or our loop that we're going to use. So I'm just going to take a piece of baker's twine and make it as long as I want. I'm actually going to go ahead and double mine. And I'm going to make it a little extra long because I want to be able to tuck that in. And I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so I've got a little double piece of baker's twine. I'm just going to kind of twist that together to make one loop. And then I'm going to tuck that, I'm going to tuck that into the middle hole here. All the ends are going to go in, or you could fold it in half and push the crease through, either way. Once I have that through, I'm going to take my pieces, my tails, and just glue those down. Because I don't want to tie a knot if I don't have to, because especially if you're using ribbon, it's going to leave a nice big lump. And you want your card to fit into an envelope. So instead of leaving a lump, I'm just gonna glue these down and sandwich them in between my layers of pink. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you're worried about those moving, you could use some glue and let that dry. Just coat it with adhesive really well. So when you layer that other layer on, that will stick down really well. But before we do that, I am going to put some brads in here to hold this in place. So I've got to retrieve those brads real quick, just a moment. This is where our brads come in handy. We're going to take our little cross piece here and we are going to put a brad in each side. And if you want to put some adhesive as well, you certainly can do that. In fact, I think I will go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and coat those with some adhesive right on the ends. That way everything stays in place really well. So go ahead and stick those in place. And then you can go ahead and put your brads through. And then after we're done, we're going to glue this underneath to hide the bottom of the brads. And it'll hide all of our seams. Everything will look really nice. You can go and put your brad in and open that up. Now the ones that don't have holes that show or that have covering panels that go over, you don't need to put a brad in that hole. It'll cover up with the covering panel. Just so you can see what I'm talking about. Like these, you don't need a brad in there because you're going to cover that up. So just some adhesive will hold these in place really well. If you want to put a brad so it's extra sturdy and strong, you can certainly do that. The nice thing about these holes is it helps you line everything up perfectly so everything stays nice and square. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and put this last piece in place. And we're just going to kind of flip things over and do our best to line that up, and it's going to cover up that ribbon and those brads. Sorry if you can't see this very well, but I'm just lining this up exactly on top of the other cross piece and gluing that on. Makes it look nice from the inside. Okay, now that we're to this point, the last thing we need to do is just go ahead and thread our flower onto our ribbon or string or whatever you're using. Look how cute that is. So instead of leaving that loose, I would go ahead and put a little adhesive on here to hold that flower in place. And if you're not worried about mailing this, you could certainly fluff up the flower and make it really cute. Okay, there you go. Isn't that cute? We've got our Happy Easter and our cute little butterflies and our little flower on top. And you can have a lot of fun decorating these and giving these this Easter time, or of course we've got all these other cute thank you and get well and birthday and Mother's Day and Father's Day themes and graduation. So I hope you enjoy making these cute little cards and you enjoy making the little envelope. The envelope's pretty easy. All of the white goes on one sheet of paper and the pink piece goes on another, and then you just glue them together here, and then it makes a nice envelope that will hold your three-dimensional card. And you know, it might be something that you give by hand because of the dimension. It might be a little bit harder to mail, but it's certainly something you could give by hand very easily. So I hope you enjoy making these fun cards, and I would love to see what you make. Please feel free to list or show them on our Facebook page, or send us an email through our blog. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.